Well. Would you looky here? Would you say this is another horse in the stable? Is that kind of what this falls into? I haven't looked up the year yet, but it's Gas Super 77 Oliver wide front. And the best part about it is, not the mister, factory 3-point hitch. That is fancy, ain't it? Well, hopefully it works. We'll see. Just kind of stuck right here, so I'm not quite sure if it's locked up or frozen or it just won't go that low. I don't know. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get here, but get there. It's an early super because it's got green wheels. The later supers had the red wheels because people didn't like them. Or yeah, people didn't like the green, so they painted them red. We just went and got it today. It's got power steering, but it was a butcher. Oh, somebody got the old knife out. Which I think this one could be saved, or it could be saved easily. I don't think this was necessary to cut this, is what I'm trying to say. I also think that if they would have just re-drilled the holes on this, they could have slid the shaft in, but it's neither here nor there. And then this. Some people's kids. And then handy, very functional.
Does it go anywhere?
Oh, the power steering fluid reservoir is under there. Something we're kind of worried about is you should turn that steering wheel, John.
Wow.
Nothing happens, but and then when it does happen, it sounds really poppy up here, so we'll find out. Keep in mind we haven't done anything with this. We're gonna try and get a battery in it, see if it'll crank. We got a bunch of stuff we gotta lose from it, i.e. that doodad up there.
This battery clamp is...
That battery isn't anything to write home about. It needs rewired.
That's kind of my thought.
Probably should take this off, but as you can see, it's got the mesh right here. Somebody repainted this white. I didn't notice it had the mesh on it, but when I first saw it. But it's got it. And here's the other pieces. Oh, let me just trip. There's the good side panel. And then there's the other one. Here's this. The nose cone toolbox lid. We're actually about 2 hours into the drive when I noticed that, or we stopped and got fuel, and that was not mounted. It was just sitting here, riding along.
Well, the battery is...
And then that is a 640 cultivator mount, or front mount cultivator mount. So I checked, it's got oil in it. I took the oil dipstick out of the hydraulic one, and it's plumb full. Well, yeah, you might want to spray some sauce in there.
You don't say.
Yeah, I took that out already once.
You did?
Yeah. But yeah, it's got 2 remotes. We kind of got it for maybe another garden tractor. We'll see. Kind of a accidental purchase. The gauges have been... Well, that is an Oliver gauge in there. Not the one we need, but it is an Oliver nonetheless. Seat bushings are working, surprisingly, so those will not be working pretty quick. And the gas tank is actually pretty clean inside, so that's really nice. Kind of would have preferred if it had the not the stamped steel rim, but the cast iron center like the 88 has. The front end's got some welds on it. This tie rod is fine, but and it's not all busted up here like a lot of these Olivers are. It's getting dark. Kind of wanted to make a video of the other one, the one that I got, but we'll see. Oh yeah, this one's been broke off. That's the one. And then there was one other spot that I saw was bunged up. Yeah, this wishbone isn't. Oh, is that broken or is it? I don't know what that is, but it's a thing. And I saw somewhere this lift tube had welds on it somewhere. I don't know. It's getting too dark. Hit the button. Dead.
I don't know if that battery's any good.
All right, so we're working on the Super 77 here. The starter does work. She's a little slow. Sorry, I have to block our light because my flash will turn off, but I'm not even gonna take the carb apart on this yet. We're just gonna
Put an old cheapo on it.
we're gonna find out if it works. That's kind of how far this has gone. Apparently it has fire, or not fire. I don't
And
know.
if you watch the Junkyard Digs video, there was it a 77 or Super 77?
77.
Their 77's distributor was full of ants. And
Our
this Super 77's distributor was also full of ants.
Yeah, you can see somebody clocked this coil or this distributor all the way back here. Handy. So if we have to get rid of that, we're gonna have to notch some metal. Make sure we don't lose our timing. But sorry for the no. This might be kind of a weird formatted video. And I did forget to say there is one thing that needs to be fixed. There's one thing that needs to be fixed on this tractor. No, there's many things, but this brake, actually, if all the bolts will come out, I'll just pull it out right now. This brake is stuck. Oh, that's been welded. There's one. These go all the way in. Oh, if it goes all the way in, then I can pull it out. Yeah, no. She goes all the way in. It's fine. We'll just let her rip for now. The brake is stuck. So, that's about it right now. I forgot to move. Oh, I was kind of hoping this tractor would have a tack on it. But beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, we have all of our cylinders we put on it. It's got hydroelectric plugs on it too, so.
It does?
It's got the plugs in the side. I don't know if they're hooked up. This one is at least, so.
Oh, that's what that plug's for. That's for a cultivator up there.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So, here's another little update. John greased stuff because he was bored and not working at the task at hand. See if it will live. We don't have any brake clean here that's flammable. Only non-flammable, so. I don't know how we're going to find out if it's got any fireage, but we'll find out. Does it have oil pressure? We've got 2-stroke gas in it, so. No steering. short gas makes her a little bit smoky, but she even works, moves everything but the steering. No steer. But yeah. Alright, well, it runs. I had some video before, but I don't know if I'll use it. I didn't get any video of it first starting. We have no steering, but we do have one of these motors that we were going to put on the 550. Your dad bought and put on the 550 years ago. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to turn whether there's power steering assist or not. I'm not sure. I know we were questioning oil pressure. It's got oil in it. It's got oil pressure, but the gauge shows nothing. We have no gauges, but we have lift. So, yeah, it doesn't go any lower than this. I think it's this. Okay. You may as well, and we've been putting oil in it, and that's been changed the oil in the power steering, I should say. It's just kind of sitting here idling. I mean, John took the car apart, we cleaned it. That's why it wouldn't start. Had to file the points one more time, and it's just sitting here idling. You should back it up, drive it a little bit. We can't steer it, but just move it. So, like I said, green wheel Super 88 or Super 88, Super 77. Oh, there's a glove on that wheel, but oh well. Right there. Oh, I should show you the throttle, that part that was stuck on it. Not really sure the story of this tractor besides the fact that it was sold. Is our alternator trying to explode? I think that's the alternator. Cleaned the plugs, filed the points, and that's about it. It's running rich. It's kind of weird. Is that steering? I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff on here that we want to take off. This bracket could be took off. That is a planter bracket. That can be took off. Steering. Big bar. anyways, I see something spitting out or breathing up there. Anyways, we are gonna try and swap that motor out. See if we can. Boy, it's starting to run really good. Well, anyways, we will update you guys when something happens. I did too, but when we were loading it, there's kind of something in that steering sector that seemed not quite right, so kind of, you know, something might work. Maybe. The one we have is used. We don't know if it's any good, so it's kind of what we're at. But I'm really happy all the hydraulics work. The oil in the pump looks perfect, so anyways, we will update you later. Yeah, it runs a little rich. Haven't messed with the carb any, but alright. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Need a little heat in it, I guess. You gotta do a little JD weld in there, but yeah. Thanks for watching. I guess this is being orbital was bad. We had one laying around because Dad was gonna put one on the 550, make it have power steering on the 550, but that has not happened. It was used, but that was a problem. Bolted right on, and we got steering now. So this is what we've done on the tractor so far. Here's the new steering motor. I guess I'll point the phone to where it needs to be. We have a new oil filter for it. Haven't changed the oil yet. The brake was stuck when we got here, so I just took the cover off, and that's not great. Not great at all. I was kind of hoping just to come in here and try and smooth it up, clean it up a little bit, but this looks like a lot of stuff to do. Anyways, I digress. Got the side panels on very prematurely, as you can see this butchery. This very useful but butched, and then this butched. You see, this is torch cuts right here, but this is grinder. So under the hood, here's a brace here that we took off. Took the sunshades off. John's working on the new oil pressure gauge. Oh, it's in. It's done. So, 3-point. It needs some loving. We got a spring on here, but you see this crack right in here? Yeah, that's all blown out and needs some work. Then I need some work down there. We think this is blown out on this side because the cylinder's on this side, but obviously we got the blower off. Mister, whatever you want to call it. Over here, well, the exhaust is permanently mounted. We got our local metal shop had a 2-inch pipe tap, so went there and got that. So now our exhaust is solid. And then Dad wants to make a couple braces that go up to a hose clamp. Did you have replacement gauges? I don't really have one now. He wants to put another clamp on there and then put rods down to, not rods, but metal braces down there. So, you know, now the muffler sticks up a little bit higher than she used to, but oh well, I suppose we could take that extension off the top. Got some springs for the toolbar sled. A little bit loose. New
Almost
button.
looks like this is perfect.
New button and choke cable. Obviously not at code, doesn't say choke or anything, but yeah. That is the update as of now. I'm just ignoring doing the brakes over here, so figured I'd let you see what is going on. So yeah. Yes, it's raining. Alright, well, we're gonna call this the end of the video. Sorry it's so sporadic. I didn't record every step of the way on it. Obviously, as you can see, just gonna do a little overview of what we have done to it. Sitting here running. First things first is this manifold pipe was really rusty. And that's the chunk of galvanized. It looks like the galvanized is burning off. But we had our local metal shop has I think that's 2 1/4 inch tap that they use on mufflers. So we borrowed that. Re-threaded that hole into the manifold. And then Dad had the idea to make these straps. They're not factory, but they're just hose clamped to the muffler there. Yeah. Other than that, the starter's been worked on. It's been rebuilt. I think that was... no, that was not rebuilt the last time we did that. And this main jet on this carburetor has been kind of a problem child, but it's broken off. The end of it's broken off, and it rattles loose. So we kind of have that little nut on there to hold it in place. I should just buy a new one. Yeah. And it was running really bad from that, but I've got her tuned up pretty good now. It doesn't start as good as I think it should, so need to work on that still, but there's a few other things that need done. This number 9 wire brake rod needs to be replaced. Which that looks like a treat, because that's riveted up here. A whole pin riveted, I don't know. Anyways, I see that's why that's the way it is. But see that. That brake does work. This other side brake still needs some attention. This front end was really loose. And this washer was, we tightened up these big nuts on here, and that tightened the front end up for us, so that's good. But this washer broke and Dad welded it, but it cracked again, so whatever. I just still don't know if it charges yet or not. We haven't replaced any gauges besides the oil pressure, but this is the original pump motor, and if you, obviously earlier in the video, you saw that the steering didn't work, and we replaced it with one that we had laying around. Well, that one we had laying around was leaking out of there, so we put this one back on, had it rebuilt, and we got the last shaft. Apparently these Charlene orbital motors, or this one is kind of hard to find. Got the last few parts. The steering system's kind of jank. I'd like to redo it and get this tucked back in, but for now it's fine. And obviously that's still there. Hydraulics still work. We've got this little triangle hitch piece. We use that on the 550. I see the PTO is lingering on right now. This right brake still needs a little attention, but this tire was going flat and the valve stem went bad on it, and some of these old tubes are the really heavy ones, and this has got one of those really heavy tubes in it. We're hating to give up on that, so we've got a valve stem patch on it, and it's holding pretty good now, but you know, that's about all I really have to say to finish this video off. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry for the lack of better clips of it, or lack of work clips on it, but you know, it's just sometimes the way she goes. Oh, I should say, I don't know if we had this choke, I think we did. But this choke is supposed to be right here, right there. But when this gear shifter's in gear, I took this gear shift out, and then Dad and I bent it. You kind of see the heat mark right there. And we bent it away from that, but because it was hitting the dash. And see, that's 6th gear right here. And you can see where I've been rubbing on the dash there, and that would have been reverse. So I think we could move it back now, but you know, it's here in this spot, so. But yeah. Hasn't been running a couple days, so it's probably a little cold-blooded still, but. Beans are a little weedy right along the edge here, because trying not to kill the grass spraying, but anyways. Yeah, thanks for watching.